So moving right on to the next bracket here, silver bracket, that would be the 1100 to 1300 ish bracket. I'm not sure about the complete and set limits here. But we have Philophisaur versus Hardcorechillah in the 6th. I believe both of them played in my Nomad tournament, Nomad 1v1 tournament last year, in November last year. Philophisaur got to the semifinals, I believe, in the lower end bracket there. And then we have Hardcorechillah, who also played in open season, if I remember correctly, with the Mines. Alright, Rosen Ripper, thanks for stopping by, and good luck next as well. It was a fun set to watch some long games. So, we have a Meso matchup here. And keep in mind that I'm casting on the current patch, the current balance. Hardcorechillah going for the Incas here, but will not be benefiting from the blacksmith upgrades for the Incas until the cast age, because this is the new patch. Incas got nerfed, at least their villagers and towers, all in initiative got nerfed, and they didn't get anything in return, which many players for sure will say that is unfair. We have a fairly early deer pushed in here, so that tells me that Hardcorechillah wants to aim for a quick and smooth fuel age. Fuel age scouts, Eagle Scout rushes are a thing for Mezzosims. It's not very commonly seen, but it's been done. But what I think Hardcorechillah might be going for here is a Men-at-Arms opening. I'd say that the Men-at-Arms Archers opening is just as good for Incas as any other sim, maybe even better, considering that you save a tiny bit of wood with your houses supporting 10 population. You see there's 2 houses for Hardcorechillah, but 25 population total, not needing to worry about it, and nice little boar trick there to shoot with the TC as well, limiting idle time and limiting villager damage along the way. As for Philophisaur, let's see what they're up to here. That's Mayans. In all honesty, should be outmatching the Incas here. Mayans have longer lasting resources, strong economy, strong options, cheap archers, which might very well force the Incas into Eagles sooner than later. Mayans have 10% discount on archers in the fuel age, 20% in the cast age, and 30% in the imperial age. They also have a unique technology granting their Eagle Warriors plus 40 hit points, the Eldorado, which should outmatch the Incas Eagle Warriors any day. Of course, Incas Eagle Warriors have higher pierce armor with their unique technology, which is going to come in handy against the Mayans player, but this is a very interesting Meso civilization matchup to see. I don't think I've ever seen Mayans versus Incas before in my probably thousands of games casted by now. At least not a very frequent matchup to see. Yep, there's the barracks. Going up at 19 pop. This is definitely the Men-at-Arms Archers. Likely to be 22 population for Hardcorechillah here. Lovely idle. Lack of idle TC time here, only 2 seconds. Going to gold with villager number 20. Now, this could actually be 21 pop Men-at-Arms, which is becoming the meta these days. Because you get to the Men-at-Arms even more quickly. Let's see if the execution is on point here. Yeah, some preemptive holding here. We don't have any. There we go. Militia in the making. 2 on gold, 150 food and counting. Yeah, should be no trouble. at all. I'm looking at the wrong stats, but still goes for the same. There's definitely gold here to afford the men-at-arms upgrade. We have 3 militia total being made here. Scouting on point for Hardcorechillah here as well. Found the berries, might be the first target. And Philophisaur seems to have straight archers in mind here, which would be a good counter to the men-at-arms opening. Let's see if Philophisaur has the... yeah, has seen the barracks. The cheaper Mayans archers should handle this nicely. Look at the walling as well, in towards the TC here, to force that early aggression to move next to the town center. Unless they take the long way around, of course. Hey, what are you doing? You were supposed to wall, weren't you? Oh, there we go. So, let's see for Hardcorechillah's scouting here. It doesn't have this area scouted. That's basically the last point of entry here. If you late in for the mines, the clock is ticking now for the Incas to deal some serious damage here. We should be seeing the range follow up very soon here from the Incas, unless there's some other plans in mind here for Hardcorechillah. Nice quick gate there for Philophisaur, but the Eagle were in a beautiful spot there, although very close to TC here, risking taking TC fire. I like how Hardcorechillah is going straight for the gold here. But I also like how Philophisaur already gets that first quick wall up to keep that aggression out. Might actually keep Blue completely from engaging. No, that's going to be one builder down for sure for Philophisaur. That guy is trapped. But quick gate here, and Philophisaur could actually trap Hardcorechillah here. Some nice quick walls, nevertheless, to keep the aggression from hitting her. Another builder having to run back to the TC, and the woodline is still exposed. And on the hill here, it's much harder to quick wall with palisades on the hill here, so Hardcorechillah just marches right in and will be getting another villager kill here, maybe. Just poke a bit on that one. One. Oh, she fights back! Ooh, you can't do that. 2 villagers down now for Philophisaur, and a great start for the Incas here. Range is up as well, no archers produced yet. And lots of wood in the bag. Could go second range blacksmith immediately here. Finding a way inside here, maybe. That's... oh, it's gonna be another villager. Man-at-arms sometimes so strong at this level. It can disrupt your early economy so much. That's going to be another villager down for the Mayans. And good thing for Philophisaur is Mayans here, because they arguably have a much stronger economy than Incas short-term and long-term with the longer-lasting resources. But with the range going up just now, says something about Philophisaur's struggles here to hold off against the aggression. Needs to get some archers out now to deal with this. And the walls... is that an opening, but it's right next to the TC, shouldn't be a big issue. Yeah, a couple of archers out to clean this up, and Philophisaur should be okay here. The gold is well within the walls, but the woodlines slightly more exposed, should still be okay-ish from the early aggression here, though. But man, these men-at-arms are doing work. Look at the eco KD, it's 5-0 for Hardcorechillah now. Fortifying a lead at 5 builders here, because the idle TC times are quite similar here between the two. Philophisaur will be forced to spend wood on repairing that lumber camp, and yeah, there's definitely still wood income here. And just to get those archers to work and clean this up, fletching or not, they'll be alright here. That's going to be the end of the men-at-arms for the Mayans. Now for the Incas here. But on the Incas home base, you can see that this men-at-arms advancement, this men-at-arms format has not only given Hardcorechillah an equal lead in terms of villager numbers, but also bought significant time to wall up completely at home base here. Gonna wall towards the edge of the map probably here. And same to the other side. This is peculiar though. You might as well just wall to the edge here and you have a lot more terrain covered. So I'm not loving Hardcorechillah's choice of walling here. Definitely would have walled to the edge of the map instead, so that you save up some builder time and could send this woman back to work more quickly. But the way Hardcorechillah is walling is nice. This wood line is the only pile of resource really exposed to feudal age archers of the Mayans here. And looking at the resource disposition here, Hardcorechillah is most definitely going to be first to the Castle Age as well. As shouldn't be surprising given the investment. Why did Philophisaur kill the mill? It's probably to escape with some builders. That's a bit of a setback. Right, so it's time for some counter aggression. Fletching just kicked in. That's one that Hardcorechillah doesn't have yet, actually. There's only one range, never mind. So Hardcorechillah could go into skirmish defense here. Looks like a castle might be in the planning as well for some further defense or offensive purposes even. You could deny Philophisaur of the main gold with an offensive castle here. But we'll see how it plays out. Skirmishers seems like the proper choice, or even Eagle Warriors. Okay, a straight Eagle switch here for Hardcorechillah seems decent enough. 10 on gold. And yeah, making those skulls. Yeah, that should clean up these feudal age archers, no problem. I'm not opposed to the choice of the Incas here. Yeah, I don't think Philophisaur will break in here. Hardcorechillah did make the range, didn't make a single unit out of the range. So adapted plans here to go straight for the triple barracks eagles instead. Should have no problem affording elite eagle immediately, and with Castle Age kicking in for the opponent, Philophisaur will be pulling the archers away, and rightfully so. Rightly so. Castle Age should be right around the corner for the mines here as well, but Philophisaur could be in a rough spot now. The elite Eagle Warriors, they have such high... No, the Eagle Warriors, I mean, have fairly high pierce armor, so they could break through this gate and go close to the TC without risking losing too many numbers here. And there's still 2 minutes 15 seconds to go until Philophisaur reaches the Castle Age, so those Eagles might very well shred the early archers numbers here. Preemptive tower on the goal near the edge here, so Philophisaur somehow still expecting the ranged approach here from the Incas. That could be dangerous. But with the scout, Eagle Scout now inside enemy base, that should... How the hell did that get inside? Ah, it got through the hole that the Eagle Warriors went out, yeah. Well, if Philophisaur gets the proper crossbow masses, could weather the first storm of eagles here. We have triple barracks consistent production here though, and Mayans, they are lacking in the swordsman line department. They could of course go long swords in the Castle Age against eagles, but they don't have the option of knights as most civilizations could against this this kind of forward. If Hardcorechillah breaks in and is able to raid, that's going to be really, really bad news for Philophisaur. And we see the forward siege workshop here as well, producing a mangonel to maybe get some nice shots in on the archers here. Men-at-Arms just kicked in, so Philophisaur definitely with the long-term plans of longswords here to handle the eagles. Crossbow is in, but they can't move too close to this mangonel here. Army production at a halt for Hardcorechillah for the moment. Still lots of gold in the bank, so that must be a hotkey issue. Yeah, production back on track. Philophisaur now taking the hill here. There's +2 defense for the eagles though. And 2 mangonels out. That's bad news for the crossbow masses here. It doesn't take many hits for Hardcorechillah to drastically... Oh, that's a big hit! Drastically diminish the numbers of crossbows here. Nice dodge by Philophisaur there, but that is still 5 or 6 crossbows down to 1 shot there. Defensive siege coming up, but offensive castle coming for Hardcorechillah. He's not joking around there, really wants to take Philophisaur off the main gold here. And playing the map nicely here. There's still gold in the back though for Philophisaur, so a bit lucky there that not all of the golds are forward. Handcart even for Hardcorechillah. Seems almost a bit early for handcart, but hey, if you can afford it, it's still a good e-card to get. 3 mangonels now to defend and push here, while Philophisaur risks it going for a forward here, but there's a town center here already protecting the economy. Hardcorechillah shouldn't be too stressed out here. Also, with a keeping that 5-builder lead, this is a fairly similar disposition of economy here, but with handcart in, of course, Hardcorechillah has a much stronger economy than Philophisaur without even wheelbarrow here. That forward castle isn't to be stopped. These are still only Minotauros. They are not going to do too much against Eagle warriors here. Army numbers comparable, but the crossbow masses out of position in a sense for Philophisaur here. There's the siege workshop is offensive for Hardcorechillah though, so you can't just defend with mangonels at home against this. But now with this forward castle going up, you could easily pull the Eagle Warriors over here to deal with crossbow masses. And if this army mass gets cleaned up, I don't see any easy way back into it for Philophisaur here. We see longswords in production here, but I don't think it's going to be massed up enough in time here when the crossbow masses are cleaned up. Hardcorechillah is going to have a maybe 20 military lead here, and still having the forward siege to push here. The castle will handle the siege workshop here, and once that mangonel pops out, the castle will probably delete, kill that one too. Philophisaur saves that one, but how much is a defensive mangonel going to do against 3 offensive mangonels and a castle and more barracks? GG is called. Hardcorechillah takes the first game. Quick look at the stats, and we'll just be moving on right into the next game. Oh, what's this? Yeah, I don't understand these stats. Need to read up on that. Similar army high, but of course the crossbows are about to be demolished by Hardcorechillah's eagles. Good switch into Castle Age eagles there with that earlier Castle Age. Stronger economy, more or less untouched at home. And finally the Society score, of course, showing a villager lead, also including handcart. Much better economy for the Incas there. So, let's just go into game 2. That would be Philophisaur's home map. He's going for slopes. That's a nice one. Let's see if it starts here for us. There we go. Slopes it is. I am going to need to go to the bathroom quickly again, but I'll be right back. While the players get started, maybe we'll just follow all the scouts in the meantime. Be right back. All right. Let's see for game 2 here. Oh, look at Philophisaur trying to block the ball lure there. That's actually going to cost Hardcorechillah one builder there. So it seems I came back at just the right time here. One builder down to the Gaia here for Hardcorechillah. Off to a rough start. And now as for the civilizations here. They've been drafting civs, obviously. I'm not going to emphasize the draft too much for these first rounds of the mid-ELO tourneys. But we have Tatars for Hardcorechillah, which is not a bad pick at all. Great or very good early economy with plus 50% boost for the herdables, like the pigs in this case. While for Philophisaur is a fantastic counter pick with the Berbers here. Berbers probably best counter out there for cavalry archers play, considering that that Berbers unique unit, the camel archer from the castles, just shred cavalry archers. Match command won't work, sadly. It's tied to my account. For only once, I don't know how to make that work for casting. But if you also know the ranking of the players, it's exclamation mark rank or exclamation mark ELO for the player's nickname in chat. Should work. Yeah, so Berbers with camel archers, and if you're in the if you're in lack of gold, you could also go for the unique unit, the Genitors, to have a mobile skirmisher, mounted skirmisher to deal with the cavalry archers. But we have slopes here. Let's have a quick look at the players scouting. Hardcorechillah has been to the sides here to confirm that Philophisaur actually isn't taking the resources to the sides here. It's risky on slopes, but it could also be rewarding since you have shorefish that collects very quickly, and also ibex. So this is almost 1,000's worth of food to the sides here in each of these small puddles of shorefish and whatnot. Hardcorechillah's scout in danger here, but Philophisaur doesn't take the chance to engage there. Keeps scouts at full HP. Is that an indication of a scouts play by Hardcorechillah here? 21 population up, no gold. Yeah, I think it's the scouts here. That is going to be rough for Hardcorechillah to deal any significant damage with the scouts here, because by now Philophisaur is actually completely walled. And this might very well be a full wall, almost straight past castle for Philophisaur here. There's a stable for Philophisaur though, going for the 21 pop as well. But looking at the walling situation, looks like Hardcorechillah is going to be walled as well. So I'd say for both players here just to make very few scouts now and just try and aim for that smoother transition to the next stage instead. You can see the Tatars' economy at work here, still eating those sheep, delaying the need for farms here. A couple of scouts out for Philophisaur. There's still an opening in the back here, but the clock is ticking. I don't think Philophisaur will be able to get here in time. Besides, there's a Spearman here for Hardcorechillah defending. This is Philophisaur's home map though, and picking Berbers for this one. And if the Berbers are able to get to the cast stage before the Tatars here, they are able to produce their cheaper cavalry units, knights, camels, you name it. 15% cheaper in the Castle Age, 20% cheaper in the Imperial Age. Scouting the sides here, I like that from Philophisaur as well, just to confirm that Hardcorechillah is in fact not taking the resources to the sides here. There is a good chance that Hardcorechillah will be going to the Castle Age first here, now that the walls are complete. Having seen the full walls, Hardcorechillah is adapting. Let's check Hardcorechillah's rank as well, actually. Yeah, we have 1322 versus 1144 here, so that's a rough matchup for Philophisaur, actually. But it's their home map, and it's a good counter pick, so it could definitely work out here. Wheelbarrow for Hardcorechillah, so really playing the economy here, not stressing that transition to the next stage. Spearman and scouts on the field here. Hardcorechillah hasn't really made any military here, so already putting their economy ahead here by a bit. Looks like we have almost a 200 ELO gap here, so maybe even on the not ideal civilization matchup here, Hardcorechillah will be able to take some advantage with a smoother Castle Age. Not stressed out by the aggression here, of course. Wheelbarrows in, so Hardcorechillah effectively with roughly a 3 villagers lead here. You can tell that's because of the idle TC time. However, Hardcorechillah did lose a villager early on, so that lead could have been even larger without losing a villager to Gaia. Or to the, what was it, Rhino? Boar, no, it was probably Boar for this one. You'd argue with the army investment on the field now that Philophisaur has control over the map, though, could much more safely make use of the resource to the sides here, which in return could boost that through the go for the Castle Age. Looks like their Castle Age timings are going to be comparable after all. Philophisaur getting Wheelbarrow now, and will still be behind a few villagers here when Wheelbarrow completes, but the farming eco seems nice for Philophisaur. 16 on food, 14 on food for Hardcorechillah with the Tatars here. Richer farm eco for Philophisaur at home, which will in return will benefit that Berber's cavalry investment. But there's the Castle Age click for both players. Completely similar here. In fact, Philophisaur only thing setting them back is the fact that there's a slight bit more idle TC time behind this. Triple ranges for the Tatars, no surprise there, going for the cavalry archers after all. And let's see, there's a backstone here for Philophisaur, so against the cavalry archers, there's definitely going to be the option for a castle and cavalry archers for the Berber's player here. Risky for the Tatars to go for the cavalry archers, but could also be that Hardcorechillah thinks that they're ahead here. More ahead than is the actual case in the progression. So, the thing about the cavalry archer play here is that it's hidden away though, so Philophisaur can't know for sure that the cavalry archers will be coming this way, but the Tatars being granted instant tampering will definitely be... yeah, they have one of the best straight cavalry archers plays out there. Hello, Halberdier Henry. More houses. Another TC for Philophisaur, so not playing one TC all in with Berber's cavalry madness here. playing more of the eco card and might then actually take a lead over the Tatars. No, there's the second TC for the Tatars as well. So kind of a mirrored approach to the gameplay here, aside except from the units of choice, of course. It is going to be the Knights for Philophisaur here, mixing in some Camels as well. If the Camels can get close, they'll deal nicely with Cavalry Archers, but the fact that they lack Pierce Armor is going to be an issue if the Cavalry Archers play to their strengths and go for the hit and run. Bowsaw kicking in for Philophisaur. That's one that Hardcorechillah should be getting earlier actually for the Cavalry Archer investment. Not as much of a stress for the Berbers, but it's nice to make a habit of getting that early as well. I tend to forget it myself. 10 military to 8 now, but the Cavalry Archers, they could safely fire from within the walls here to deal with the enemy aggression. Not quite consistent production. Even Berbers have cheaper cavalry, yes, but they still need gold. Yeah, 9 should be fine. So that's for the TC completing, that's the thing. So the eco setup seems on point here for Philophisaur, damn it. Sorry for butchering nicknames here, it's a bit of a tongue twister. Applying some nice pressure on Hardcorechillah here now, who is kind of outmatched on. I've already broken the schedule, by the way, with that one. It's kind of outmatched here with the Tatars against Berbers. But we'll see. Tatars spawning some sheep upon each new TC gas station. Hello, hello, good day for a stream, ain't it? Yes, any day is a good day for a stream. But this is gonna be a long one. And the neighbors are probably going to wonder why the light is on throughout the whole day and night in my little apartment here. Philophisaur trying to break in here, but look at the Cav Archer numbers. 17 of them now. Better just to pull away. Knights investment now for Philophisaur. 2 stables, just one of them being used. We have bloodlines in. Husbandry should be stressed as well. Even Spearman found a way in here. How did they get in? Okay, they got in here, I guess, before that house was plugged. Yeah, if I'm Berbers now, I think I want to put some emphasis on stone. That's what Philophisaur is doing exactly now. I promise I wasn't looking at the resources. Even getting stone mining. Actually, I kind of like that. It's going to boost the stone income, so you could afford that castle even earlier. Maybe you want the first castle up here to protect entry from this area and cover the next stone, so you could go fully into Camel Archer. And if Philophisaur gets to mass Camel Archers here, I don't see much for Hardcorechillah to do except maybe going full skirm, but then the Berbers Knights cavalry investment will already be able to counter skirm's masses as well, so Hardcorechillah really is outmatched here in terms of civilization. The army numbers are fairly equal there as well, and Philophisaur now establishing a stronger economy behind this, I think, or is just Hardcorechillah keeping the investments consistent behind this. We see them both producing villagers consistently here. There's very little difference to be noticed there. Hardcorechillah actually with half the ILTC time though, so still a slight lead there in that regard, but that's 3 villagers. Not too big of a deal. Oh, this is dangerous. Where are you going, Hardcorechillah? That castle is not gonna go up. Philophisaur is patrolling and is now going to even out that villager difference and take the lead here. Gets housed in the process, but who cares? Some nice and juicy villager kills, and now to chase the Cav Archer Mass. Get that +2 defense, though. That's so important when against ranged units here. Some expansion to the side as well. This has to be a town center once the wood will allow. Hardcorechillah keeping the foundation, staying here. Really wants that castle up. And with the Cavalry Archer masses now chasing +2 on the way, Philophisaur couldn't or shouldn't engage until +2 is in, so this castle might go up after all. Not without losing villagers, 6 villagers down for Hardcorechillah after that first 4, and look at the hit and run here, so annoying. that they can do that. Hey, okay, I won a 1v1 this morning by going Indian Scav Archers, by the way. I almost never go Cav Archers, but those were juicy. I was against Burmese though, so it doesn't quite count. Cav Archers. We're gonna be seeing the Camel Archers in production soon, I think. Philophisaur just needs that wood count to spike up. Lumber Camp here, TC here, nice. 3 TCs now, and the third TC of Hardcorechillah is about to go up. So once that is up, they're going to be even in TC numbers again. So this is Philophisaur's point to take the builder lead here. Consistent triple TC production now is very nice to see. And also making the Camel Archers. So once the Camel Archers reach critical mass, it's going to get really rough for the Tatars here. Of course, you want the upgrades. Balkan Arrow is in, nice. Ballistics will be needed as well, so at some point Philophisaur will need to drop that University. And of course you need a range for the proper upgrades for ranged units, but that doesn't apply to Berbers actually, because Berbers don't get Thrumbring, so never mind, you don't really need that range. But you need the University for ballistics still. Defensive castle on the side here. No way that gets denied by the Tatars scouts here. TC still not up on this gold. Still some precious map control being taken by the Tatars here. But Philophisaur now in a 2 builders lead here. Map pool for this tournament is great. Yeah, I agree. It's nice to see some variety with some mix of land and hybrid maps, and then you still get to start off on Hidden Cup for Arabia, which should be familiar for players. Philophisaur now moving out, and will actually knows about this TC Foundation. That's huge. This could be a great raid. There's no Cavalry Archers here to stop it, and Hardcorechillah will need to react for this to work. But look at the Camel Archer numbers being produced out of 2 castles now. That number is going to be threatening soon enough. What tournament this? This is called Mid-ELO Tourneys, TJB official. Let me see. I hate Slopes PTSD from HG3. Nah, Slopes is a nice map, and besides they changed it to have less shorefish, so it's less of a concern than the HC3 version. I'm gonna check if I have a mid-ELO tourneys command, actually. Would be nice to have one of those to lead to the proper Discord. Okay, I don't. I should fix one. Yeah, I'm playing in the mid-ELO tourneys as well. I'm actually playing both the gold and platinum divisions, but so far I lost both my matches to 0. Platinum is just for fun now for training though, but I actually almost won the Arabia game in the Platinum division against a almost 1700 players. That was fun. I mean, it was a lot more even than I expected it to be, at least. Ooh, what was Hardcorechillah trying for here? Imperial Age all the way for Hardcorechillah though, that's bad for Philophisaur's castles. Philophisaur with the eco lead, matching the military numbers as well, and ballistics is in for the Camel Archers, numbers increasing here. Who did you play in Platinum? I played against Myth. I think it was 1692 at that point or something. Cavalry Archer numbers reaching dangerous numbers here now. We have the Imperial Age on the way as well. And let's see, go Keshik's blue. Why should he go Keshix? He has cavalry archers. Yeah, he's gonna struggle against gamble archers though. We'll see. 46 to 40, military numbers. Is he still playing a lot? I'm not sure actually. I don't know Myth that well, but I've seen him. He played in open season, my previous tournament as well, and so I've seen him. I'm guessing he's kind of active. So dangerous venturing out with builders like this. So what's the idea here? Are they gonna? Yeah, they're going for the gold. Is Hardcorechillah struggling for gold? Not really. Philophisaur with 14 builders lead here. Military numbers still comparable. Philophisaur will need Imperial Age though to deal with castles. Yeah, he played in the Age of Noob Cups, didn't he? With the and he hung around in the chat as well. Hussar for the Tatars here, it could be good for raids, but the beautiful castle placements of Philophisaur here are actually limited the capacity of raids for the Tatars quite a bit here. Ballistics obviously, Kashpa now to boost the production speed of castle by 30% as well, so that is going to create camel archers 30% more quickly out of all 4 castles here. For Philophisaur, who seems to be going full camel archer at this point. Rip Asian noob, yeah. He seems to be busy these days. He'll be back. That's some good YouTube content. It's really a tough matchup for Tatars. Yeah, it is. It's a good counter pick by Philophisaur here, and the camel archer masses are no joke at this point. 130 now, maybe trying to wait for Imperial Age and Elite here, and not taking unnecessary engagements here. We see for Hardcorechillah could actually afford heavy camel archers at this point, but will he even prioritize that at this point? Might be better to go Hussar, Keshik, Elite Skirm, I don't know. Pike Siege! Pike Siege could work for the Tatars here, even if they don't get great infantry. They do get Siege Ram, and that can be rough for Berbers to handle. But look at the army numbers now, though. These camel mass is very nasty. The ELO is 1140 something versus 1300 something here for... Oh, other way around. Hardcorechillah is 1300 plus, Philophisaur 1100 plus. Checking again here to see if Hardcorechillah is taking this side. I think that's misspelling. Philophi. You're stressing out Nightbot, Ogda won't. You're typing too fast. Elite Camel Archer Embrace all the way. Nice. Yeah, give Nightbot some of my coffee. I didn't notice if Hardcorechillah teched Silk Armor here, but if he did, the Hussars would be slightly more tankier than the generic ones. Camel Archers not really a threat anymore with this ridiculous mass of now elite Camel Archers on the field. And Philophisaur, although slightly outmatched in numbers here, that's a significant chunk of those are Hussars. Red has great army but needs to do something with it. I think he wants to focus down this castle and then start pushing, because he's making traps and he has all these camel archers to stop the enemy army from effectively engaging, but he'll need something against the Hussars as well though, and heavy camel is actually not an unthinkable investment here. If you drop a few more stables and go into what's going on here. Light cab, okay. Yeah, one trap is out. You need more though, but there's the benefit of Kashpa for the Berbers, faster working castle. This trap is not going to be easily sniped by Hardcorechillah's numbers here. Hardcorechillah is struggling for stone as well, so there's a limit to how much Hardcorechillah can repair here. Oh, but Timurian Siegecraft is in for the Tatars. 16 plus 2 trebs, outranging the enemy trebs. If he wants to here. Camel Archers against Hussars. Not too easy for the Camel Archers to focus down the Hussars here, allowing the Camel Archers to fire from behind. Still not heavy Camel Archer though. And Hardcorechillah definitely needs this castle to stay up to keep control over the resources in the middle here. 5 flaming camels will destroy them. Nobody makes flaming camels, man. Also, the camel archers have range, so they could snipe the flaming camels before they get close. If they can reach, yeah, but if you are just a tiny bit awake, your camel archers will snipe them anyway. Yeah, Boo got the unique tech. He got the Timurian Siegecraft at least. I'm not sure about Silk Armor. Yeah, Silk Armor is in as well. 62 to 43, Philophisaur with both Eco and Military lead now. I think Philophisaur will take one game here. Castle goes down. Yeah, this is rough for Tatars, man. Can't raid efficiently either with the castles in strategic spots for Philophisaur here. There's an opening though. Cavalries can run in and get some hits. Oh, stable wall for Philophisaur here, and just Philophisaur is in it to win it here. This is going to be a 1-1 for sure. Or not for sure. Let's not call it ahead of time here. Kashyyyks with only one castle? I don't think so. They train fast, but not that fast. The Hussars are in though, gonna get some decent raids here, but Philophisaur still with a almost 20 builders lead here. Wouldn't mind losing builders here. The economy, aside from gold here, the army number is 75 to 34. Yeah, this is Philophisaur's game for sure. We'll need to deal with raids, of course, but their own Hussars might be able to trade here. Ooh, nice raids on all sides here, but the middle has been lost, and Hardcorechillah has the monster but no relics, so no gold boost from that either. Gold is going to be a huge issue for Hardcorechillah here. Yeah, 3 side golds in the middle here that Philophisaur kind of has control of now. The raids have been dealt with, and we have 90 to 38 here. Pop capped for Philophisaur, 200 pop against 134 for Hardcorechillah here, and the Hussar raids to the sides as well. Great army movement now for Philophisaur at this stage in the game. This doesn't look, even with the home base intact for the Tatars, this doesn't look good. Heavy camels in, they still are going to struggle against camel archer masses here, though, due to the fact that camels don't have all that good pierce armor. So you could hit and run with the camel archers and diminution numbers. The camels will deal with the Hussar raids for sure. But again, gold is going to be a huge issue here for Hardcorechillah once those last 2 mines run out, and the builder situation as well. Well ahead for Philophisaur, who is, as mentioned, top-capped, shredding buildings here with the multi-units. This looks very much like it's going to go to a game 3. Ooh, that's a dangerous mass of heavy camels and skirmishers behind, though. It's a very expensive meat shield for the camel archers, but let's see here. Philophisaur should be able to find an opening to raid the main base of Hardcorechillah here, who now has stolen enough for a castle again. We might be looking to fortify the middle, but Philophisaur could also drop another castle, which should most definitely be going down in the middle here to cover the last remaining gold. Here I'm trying to Boy, camels doing work here. But we have now still have 34 camel archers ready. Philophisaur, don't throw this, please. Two castles, no less, for Hardcorechillah. Is Hardcorechillah gonna fight this back? Yeah, Philophisaur is floating lots of wood indeed. Could sell the wood for gold as well as needed. Does have 51 on food though, so could of course make more farms here. But he's actually falling behind in army numbers now. And Philophisaur really can't allow Hardcorechillah to get the castle back up in the middle here. That's going to be disastrous if Hardcorechillah gets the gold control back and will be able to produce gold units while Philophisaur will not. Like the kind of house walls to the sides here, and we have some trebs here as well. They are very unprotected where they're at right now. But let's see, camels holding up surprisingly well as well. Could be that extra, that silk armor. I guess it benefits all cavalry, right? So it benefits the, does it benefit the camels as well? Some extra armor, +1/+1, extra pierce armor. Ooh, Hardcorechillah, almost 200 ELO above here, playing defensively like a champ here. And the siege would be a very lovely addition here for sure. Hardcorechillah still has those +2 ranged trebs, could be used with advantage against the castles or whatnot here. Philophisaur is still making those. Oh, has gotten into heavy camel now actually, not really making camel archers anymore, which makes sense as well given the mass amount of skirmishers on the field. Hardcorechillah with a whooping 97 military here against the 63 of Philophisaur low, and re-establishing middle control over the gold here, taking Philophisaur off gold. No relics for either player. There aren't there like, there are 5 relics on this map I think, one in the middle and then to the sides. Eco balance looks a lot better for Hardcorechillah here, after all. Up 1-0 here and looking for another victory. Holding like a champion, never really got raided at home base. The heavy camels clean that up. Just look like silk armor benefits heavy camels now, because the stats are roughly the same. Philophisaur lacking some attack upgrades here, which is hurtful in the fairly even matchup here. The largest portion of Hardcorechillah armies are skirmishers though. And now 3 trebs to yet again push down the castle here. Is it going to shift here again? Even lacking +2 attack for the camels here, Philophisaur seems to be doing decently, but don't throw away the camel archers to skirmishes here. Could potentially use the camel archers to raid exposed economies then, like you would cavalry archers maybe. The castle looks to be going down though. Hardcorechillah still mining stone, 10 on stone. Could be dropping another castle somewhere. Not willing to give in here just yet. But now army numbers diminishing again. Philophisaur with a almost 20 villagers lead here. '81 to 43. Again, the army numbers have changed favors here, and this castle, Philophisaur should be able to focus down that one as well, but careful not to send the trebs in unguarded though. Hardcorechillah trying for some gold there, but reacting, sending the builders away, going for the castle in the middle again, but this time around only protects the front entrance to his main base here. While the Trebs being protected by Camel Archers here will deal with yet another castle. Philophisaur now with 66 farms, still putting so much wood though, could sell the wood here for gold, even if it's only 14 gold per wood. You could sell it. I don't know if it's going into replenishing farms here, seeding more farms probably. Yep, there we go. 76 to put on pop cap yet again for Philophisaur here and producing mainly Hussars now. Castle goes down to the side and Hardcorechillah even with the better eco management here overall is going to struggle to push this back now that Philophisaur still has Trebs and could spam Hussars indefinitely here with the 70 on wood now and counting. On food I mean, and counting. Yeah, Elite Skirms aren't going to do much with Hussars now on the field. +2 attack is in. I think the Berbers get the 3rd attack as well, so at some point Philosopher should consider getting that. There's a castle in the middle again. That's probably one of the last ones that Hardcorechillah will be able to build. Another town center. No, there's stone here as well. So much stone on this map. Trebs moving over to deal with town center here, but don't leave them unguarded. They're just begging to be eaten by Hussars here. Hardcorechillah idling out here though with builders, these builders. That DC is going to go down quickly, but so will the Trebs if Philophisaur isn't paying attention here. But now back to cover the Trebs. Hussars chasing. I should think one, but maybe both Trebs go down here. Good save by Philophisaur. And the Berbers take the win. We see 2 military against 80 here. Well played by Philophisaur, the underdog ELO-wise in this matchup. Let's have a look at the stats. GG indeed. Pretty even KD here, all things considered, 482, 411, but that Camel Archer investment certainly paid off for Philophisaur. Better eco overall. More wood not being consistently spent. The uptimes are very similar as well, except for Imperial Age much earlier for Hardcorechillah. Not doing enough against Berbers. Society score shows more villagers for Philophisaur and some beautiful castle placement, not really ever able to be contested by Hardcorechillah here. Well played. Let's see for the last game. The decider game will be on Hardcorechillah's home map. And that's going to be Kawazan. Hey, thanks for the resub, Alberty Henry.
Respect for 24-hour stream effort.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. We're 5 hours in already. I'm feeling okay, but I'm already getting hungry as well, so that's... I'll need to get going. Okay, what's going on with capture reach here? I might need to... I think I'm gonna do a restart, actually. Easier that way. And thanks to Nilly for the follow. And good luck later today. I'm looking forward to seeing you play versus Hallis. Let's see, what is this? Okay, I think you can reopen Capture H now. Coolest sub alert. Yeah. I call it Age of Thrones. Waiting for players. I think we're good to go here. So let's go back to... Here we go. decider game, and it's Hardcorechillah's home map for Kawasan, as you can see here, Red Bull Vololo 3 edition. And played on random map settings though, not played on Empire Wars setting as in Red Bull Vololo. So let's see what it brings here. Philophisaur with the Japanese. I like the pick considering that there are ponds here to be taken for lots of food income. Japanese fishing ships are twice as tanky as regular ones, and they also have a higher work rate, so they're going to be very efficient. Makes it easier to keep them alive, of course. And more importantly, against Franks, Japanese have faster attacking infantry, so their halberdiers are among the best in the game to deal with enemy cavalry investment. For the Franks, though, they'll have the benefit of taking the middle here with all the extra berries. Franks forage berries 15% faster. So if you can somehow establish a presence in the middle and keep that, that's going to boost the Franks economy. I like Japanese on watering hole. Maybe Persians here. Yeah, Persians with their faster working and stronger docks make sense as well. So, but looking at Franks, Franks will usually want to open scouts, even on maps like this, but between the woodlands here, you have a fairly easy wall up here. So, for either player, fast castle play is not completely out of the question either. Hardcorechillah doesn't get as good of a map walling-wise as the Japanese, though. The Japanese player with the main gold in the back or side-ish here close to the TC, so if you wall off here, and here, and your sides, you'll be quite safe. You see there are neutral golds to be taken as the game progresses as well. 3 tiles by the looks of it. But the main fighting is going to go over the middle resources, I think. Abundance of food in both the lakes and the berries in the middle here. There's some elevation as well, at least in the middle, kind of encouraging ranged play, but it seems to be the only hill. It seems to be, well, down towards the ponds and in the middle height here, so we'll see how it ends up for them. Hardcorechillah wanted to get the second board here, but changing their minds, apparently. We see the Japanese already walling off. Is this an attempt at a greedy fast castle approach by Philophisaur? No sign of a dock just yet, but this woman might be... No, she's going for the berries. Philophisaur hopefully knows this map from the Red Bull tournaments, but hasn't scouted any of the lakes here, so that could also be why Philophisaur hasn't docked yet. I see the berries going up. That's indicative of a man-at-arms, or possibly a post-milled rush by the Japanese here. Interesting board block there, costing a little bit of scout HP, running close to the enemy town center here. And something that doesn't bother Hardcorechillah too much, I think. Looks like the Philophisaur will be more or less full-walled here by the time the... what I still think would be the Franks scouts can enter. The one issue of walling like this though is that you risk giving up most of the map to the opponent if you don't have any presence yourself. But you see the militia on the way here. It's not going to be the men-at-arms after all. This is a fairly late rush. That could still contest, for example, a shore fishing villager near the dock here, but we see Hardcorechillah already expecting something like this from the Japanese, even without scouting, so preemptively walling in the shore fisher here. Philophisaur doesn't know that there's an opening in the back here, so that could be crucial against the Franks likely going for the scouts here, that they could actually enter from the back here and still do some damage. But again, the barracks is up for the Japanese, and you could go for your faster attacking Spearman, should it need be. Enter the Drush. I feel like at this point it's happening a little bit too late for Philophisaur. It comes in at around minute 10. It happens before the Franks. If you can stop this barrack from going up, Philophisaur just missing that one by one tile. That's unfortunate. The Franks player going to gold actually. So for the early bloodlines, or what's the idea here? Maybe it's not going scouts after all. Franks, Men-at-Arms, now that'll be the day. I thought I was the only one doing that. It's a pity that Philophisaur didn't see the barracks foundation going up though, because that could have been significantly delayed. Hardcorechillah missing 4 wood here. I think it's still... Let's see if it drops the... Yeah, what's the plan here? Wood in abundance now, either for farms, for more fish, for... That's a bit unfortunate for Philophisaur that the scout is standing exactly there. No, no loom! No loom! No, Philophisaur, not like this! Oh, that hurts. That hurts so bad, losing one builder there. With loom, maybe you could have contested the scout, but it's a Frank scout, so the scout would probably win anyway. Oof. So Philophisaur forgot to take that extra 10 gold to afford loom after the militia investment. There it goes, so. Militia still doing work here. Still in the Dark Age, so Philophisaur wants to aim for the Drush Fast Castle approach here. Did scout the backside now, so that is going to be plugged. But there's a stable for the Franks. Scouts shouldn't be having much success here though. Yeah, Franks would be a very smart snipe in the draft. Could be that there are other civilizations fearing more though, like Mongols for slopes. I don't know. There's lots of stone on slopes, so Mongols would be a... But then again, Philophisaur had Berbers, which would counter Mongols nicely as well. So... maybe... I could find the draft, of course, but I'm thinking that maybe the Mayans was in the drafts as well, and Philophisaur didn't want to be up against Mayans on Arabia, for example. But actually the first game was Incas versus Mayans, so that kind of doesn't work out. Maybe something else then. Maybe I should look at the draft after all. Philophisaur ist zur Feudalzeit vorangeschritten. 4 scouts on the field for Snipe Malians, thanks man. If they get into the middle, they are very strong. If they don't, they are still very strong. The middle holds all the 5 relics as well, so whoever controls the middle here will have a huge relic advantage. Philophisaur getting a dock up finally on the other lake here, or pond rather. Hardcorechillah with the scouts could snipe the docking builder. No fishing ships in the making, but Philophisaur at least should be beating Hardcorechillah to the cast stage here once the proper buildings are up here. Alright, Paradox, see you later. Ooh, Spearman versus Villager here. Faster attacking Spearman, but I think the woman has the elevation advantage here. Yeah, she's taking that one. She has armor, the Spearman doesn't. The pointy boy doesn't stand a chance. Topside, the shore fishing villager is done for. Philophisaur going first to the cast stage by good margins here. Will be able to take pikeman. Should probably be a an investment to consider early on with the Japanese here. Galley in the making as well should chase these scouts away for Philophisaur. Just randomly clicked on your Steam and you're casting by game. Yeah, got lucky there, Hardcorechillah. Good set so far. Tatar's Berbers is a tough one. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Villagers moving out. Scouts on the field for Hardcorechillah here. This could be devastating for Philophisaur moving into the middle with a monster to collect the relics now. Oh, that hurts. No Spearman on point here to defend the builders. That's going to be 1 or 2 builders down, worst case here for Philophisaur. But enter the faster attacking Japanese Spearman here. Castle Age on the way for Hardcorechillah. It's quite a bit later than Philophisaur, but as you can tell from the economy here, the Frank's economy is going to be just so much stronger heading into the Castle Age here. Philophisaur aiming for the middle relics here and also a second town center at home on the woodline and gold here. Should still be safe from night raids from now, but the eco situation is still worrying with Hardcorechillah with slightly less idle time here. Having killed 2 villagers, Philophisaur lost 1 to boar as well, by the looks of it. And yeah, we'll see what Castle Age brings here. Probably another town center. I was going to say maybe a second stable, but looks like the Franks player has other plans. Oh, tell me we see Frank's Cav Archers here, though. Skirmishers. I would love to see Frank's Cav Archers just for the fun of it. 1 relic already in, Light Cav chasing the monk. That monk is history. 100 gold down the drain for Philophisaur there. Hardcorechillah has established a presence in the other lake here as well. Philophisaur has a galley to defend, but no fletching yet. And without any hit and run here, that galley is sadly done for. 3 fish is still going to take a while to take out these Japanese fishing ships. But yeah, Hardcorechillah has got this one covered. Akkal-AOE, hello. Akkal-AOE is going to be my co-caster for the Nilly Hallis set later. We've been casting a lot together throughout the last year, I guess I could say. Why are the horses here? What purpose do these guys serve? Just decoration. Full on Pikes investment here from Philophisaur, expecting the Pikes player to go full cav here, but that's not really the case. Not a, well, 1 knight from Hardcorechillah thus far, otherwise mainly skirmishers. So long term, maybe knight skirm here. Philophisaur establishing some presence in the middle. Still only 1 relic, but about to bring a second one here. These pikes will chew up this knight for sure, unless the monk gets a conversion. And the light, are they light cav? Actually, they're still scout cav. But yeah, the pikes would deal with that as well. Another one goes down though, so more gold down the drain for Philophisaur, who is down equivalent to 7 villagers here, or 8 villagers, because Hardcorechillah even has wheelbarrow behind this. While Philophisaur has a decent farm economy, but not even horse color in, going for the range the archers play here, which will be nicely countered by Hardcorechillah's skirmishers and potentially knights here eventually. Pike, Scorpion, Pike, Siege Push, not the worst idea ever against Franks, but you want to target the skirmishers here, otherwise the Pikemen will just melt to the skirmishers, bonus damage against these guys. Convert Knights, the Franks traitor, trying to break through their previous home walls here. While Philophisaur is playing the siege here, forcing Hardcorechillah to stay at home here, but I don't think Hardcorechillah minds all that much. Even Imperial Age could be within the range of Hardcorechillah now with the proper buildings in place. The 2 buildings are there, and the Imperial Age, in fact, on the way. Wow. That's fairly early in for the Franks here, at least looking at the economy behind this. But what's that gonna give? It's going to unlock Cavalier, obviously, Trebuchets. Not Arbalest, because Franks don't have those, naturally. But certainly a technology lead on all accounts. Getting Trebs and Cap Ramps, for that matter, out to contest the field. Franks even get Heavy Scorpion, actually, which would make sense against Mass Pikes. If they're thinking along those lines. This is a nice defensive castle as well. Franks get cheaper castles. Good zip. And 1 defensive mangonel from Hardcorechillah here. Might get a lucky shot and take out 2 enemy mangonels here, actually. I'll commend Philophisaur for the pressure here. Going full pikes, obviously, against the Franks makes sense, whether you scout the stables or not. Most cases, Franks will be going cavalry, but for now, Hardcorechillah has been very hesitant in the Knights production. The water is in... Well, they have 1 lake each here. Philophisaur repairing the dock here, but failing to establish a solid naval army presence here. Might have to give up on the water as the Japanese here. Holds the middle nicely though, and more barracks going up here. But the Franks eco lead is off the charts here. There are similar village counts here, with Hardcorechillah is just now reaching the Imperial Age. We'll be going straight into Cavalier here. And Philophisaur just calls the 11 taunt. And is probably a bit frustrated not being able to deal much more damage. Or the 11 could be something else, related to something else as well, I guess. But army numbers growing for Hardcorechillah, 27 to 22 now. The Knights should... I mean, if you focus on these skirmishes now, the Knights could deal with the mangonels. Could attack ground for Philophisaur there. Almost snipes a Scorpion as well. Monk is hungry for a conversion here, but won't quite succeed at that. The action is going down in the middle now. We have Philophisaur with 3 TCs, Franks only with 2 for the time being, but a much smoother Imperial Age. Cavalier is in. And a 1-for-1 trade on the mangonels. No, actually uphill shot, so Philophisaur saves that one. The pike numbers are not really threatening now, though. There's roughly as many Cavaliers as pikemen. In that case, the Cavalier can take the fight. 4 relics for Philophisaur for now, but they will be gone shortly as Frank's player is ready to push back with the advantage of having Imperial Age here. Yeah, look at the army numbers here. 35 to 5 Philophisaur on the way up as well, but with barely any military whatsoever to benefit from it. Does take some control over the lakes here though. Should definitely challenge this last bit of fish now, but there's lots of things going on. Maybe the middle is taking a focus here. as Hardcorechillah is fighting back, taking control over the middle. Berries resources here is more of a strategic point rather than for the berries here at this point. Castle in the middle, and you have a nice vantage point to fall back to for defense for units, and that's exactly what's going on here. Or going up, rather, is a castle. Monster is down, no more bonus gold for Philophisaur, who is currently flaunting 1000 gold. Military size though 6 to 46 here. This is Hardcorechillah's game by the looks of it on their home map. Maybe to be expected as well with an almost 200 ELO gap between the players here. Cavalier numbers slowly but steadily increasing here. Just +1/+1 for these Cavaliers. Hardcorechillah really not rushing the upgrades here. Defensive castle for Philophisaur, but that's not going to stay up long with the Frank Streb soon to push on and knock on Philophisaur's door here. Halberdier though is on the way in here for Philophisaur after reaching the Imperial Age, but the numbers still not in a threatening amount here. 7 pikes not going to hold off this mass of Cavalier and Skirm with 2 trebs to push down this castle before it's even up as well. 57% solid military lead for Hardcorechillah here with the patient defensive playing behind the Franks walls here. I think the GG is imminent, but Philophisaur for now is holding on here, at least until this castle falls and Hardcorechillah can get those raids rolling. 22 on wood, 26 on food. Should be able to boost the Halberdier numbers fairly quickly here. And as mentioned, the middle pond has been taken, so that's some nice food income for the Japanese there to boost the Halberdier production. So, what do we have here? We have like 35 elite skirms versus 19 halberdiers. The castle is down. Cavaliers could run into raid. You just need to focus down the halberdiers first. 3 traps could make quick work of these barracks as well. That's going to make it tough for Philophisaur to replenish the halberdiers number. Though keeping all 5 barracks producing here is good work at that, but the numbers won't reach critical mass quickly enough. It is looking rough for the Japanese here, but definitely well done of Philophisaur to take one game of Hardcorechillah on slopes there with the Berbers. That was very solid, but this is indeed going to go to Hardcorechillah here for the 2-1 for what is the first matchup in their group of mid-ELO tourneys silver bracket. GG well played is called. Well played it was. Let's have a look at the stats here. Looks like Hardcorechillah was, yeah, obviously gets horse color instantly at Frank, but we see the double bit axe fairly early there as well, whereas Philophisaur didn't get it until much later, affecting wood income and overall income. Let's see the military score 84-34 for Hardcorechillah in the end, defending nicely against the Pike Siege offensive. Slightly more resources, not too big of a difference here, which is impressive. It could be because of Philophisaur's earlier castle age, but the offensive didn't quite work out as intended, I think. But the Drush fast castle seemed to pay off after all. Probably a play not to be discouraged for this map. And finally, the site score shows 87 to 81 villagers, but Hardcorechillah already at 56 villagers going up to the Imperial Age, giving a tech boost and a huge lead, unlocking Cavalier way before Japanese can get access to Halberdiers. GG well played to both though.